Hello everybody, my name is Professor Nikhil Verma. So today we are going to check the illustration number 9 that was given to you for practice and see whether you guys understand or you guys have any doubts. I'm going to solve this problem for today. Okay, it might be a short class, we might finish in 15-20 minutes, but we'll have a new sub-chapter for the next class. I'll introduce you all to that chapter today, then we'll continue with it in the next lecture. So guys, the problem that was given to you was this one, illustration number 9. M Company Limited proposed to purchase the business carried on by Mr. Akshay. For this purpose, the goodwill was agreed to be valued at 3 years purchase of the weighted average profits of the past 4 years. So again, the goodwill will be 3 years purchase. So whatever average adjusted profits amount we get, we'll multiply it by 3 to find out the value of goodwill. The profits are given here. They are already in ascending order, but after adjustments we'll have to check whether they are in ascending order or not. Okay, they have given 3 adjustments here. The first adjustment is exactly opposite to what was given in the previous problem. See, in this illustration it says that on 1/1/2016 5,000 was spent on routine repairs to machinery. That means everyday routine expenditure. However, it was wrongly debited to the machinery account. That means it was shown as a capital expenditure, but it was actually a routine expenditure. So it should have come in the P&L account and it shouldn't have gone to the machinery account. So we have to make that correction and show it in the P&L account. And see, this depreciation also is charged on the same. That means they have also depreciated it. So we have to do the reversal of depreciation also from the year 2016. So in the year 2016 and in the year 2017 they have provided for depreciation and they have shown it in the P&L account. We have to do the reversal of that also. Okay, that means we will have to add those back to the profits of those years to make the corrections. The closing stock for the year 2015 was overvalued by 4,000. So the closing stock of 2015 was overvalued. That means the profits of 2015 were overvalued by 4,000. So in order to make the correction, you have to reduce this from the profits of 2015, and the opening stock of 2016 was also overvalued. So in order to make the correction there, you will have to add this 4,000 back in the year 2016 to the profits of that year. Okay? To cover the management expenses, an annual charge of rupees 7,500 should be made for the purpose of valuation of goodwill. In order to find out the future maintainable profits, we are supposed to make a charge of 7,500 for each of the years. Okay? Compute the value of goodwill of the business using weighted average profits. So I have the format ready here. We'll do it quickly. Okay, we'll not waste our time because the format and the pattern of solving it is similar to how we did it in the previous video. I'll just write down the profits: 37,500, 50,000, 65,000, and 75,050 rupees. Okay, so I've got the profits here. In order to find out the value of goodwill using weighted average profits, first weighted average adjusted profits, that is. First I'll have to find out the adjusted profit. I'll have to make the corrections. Once we make the corrections, then using the adjusted profits, we are going to find out weighted average adjusted profits. We are going to take the adjusted profits, multiply it with the weights. See, weights are not given in this problem. So I'll just mention here how we'll take the weights. We are going to take the weights like this: 1, 2, 3 and 4. Pretty simple, ascending order. Okay, so I put the weights. We are going to find out the product. We are going to divide the total product by total weight. So we'll find out the total product and divide it by 10. We will get our weighted average adjusted profit. Using this weighted average adjusted profit, we are going to find out value of goodwill by multiplying the weighted average adjusted profit by 3. Okay, so let us begin this. Profits I have taken. So here it says on 1/1/2016, a sum of rupees 5,000 spent on routine repairs to machinery. Routine repairs means you will consider it as a routine expenditure, and routine official expenditures or factory expenditures will go either to trading account or to P&L account. So this should have been shown in the trading and P&L account, but it was not shown. If it is not shown in the P&L account or trading account, what is going to happen? The profits for that year are going to be shown extra because we have not shown one expenditure. If one expenditure is not shown, that means your savings have increased by that much. That means your profits are increased by that much. So we are going to make that correction. So we are going to do less routine expenditures we write it revenue expenditures were wrongly treated as capital expenditure, now adjusted, not corrected, we use adjusted, now adjusted. Okay, this is for which year? This is for the year 2016. So nil in 2016, 5,000 last year, nil. 37,500, 50,000 less, right? So minus this, so we got 60,000, 75,050 rupees. I hope you guys understood this. The trick to this is that depreciation was also charged. See, it was capitalized and it was added to the machinery account. So here the value of machinery has increased by 5,000. So on this 5,000 they have charged depreciation at 10% on reducing balance method. So we'll have to do a working note. Working note number 1, calculation of depreciation. So we have to make a table, guys. So from the year 2016 it is going to start and it is going to go to even 2017. So in the year 2016 the asset amount was 5,000 and depreciation was charged at 10%. We'll see how much it is. It will be 500. So the asset amount for the next year will be 4,500 because depreciation is charged on reducing balance method. So the depreciation amounts for 2 years will be 500 and 450 rupees. So what do you think we should do? What they have done is, in the P&L account of 2016 they have shown depreciation of 500 rupees. And in 2017 they have shown a depreciation of 450 rupees, which now we have said that it is not it was not capital expenditure. So charging depreciation on this 5,000 will not be valid, right? So we have to make that correction. Because of charging depreciation, the profits for those 2 years were reduced by 500 and 450 respectively. In order to make that correction, we will have to make the correction. That is, we'll have to add it back to the profits. It started from the year 2016. In 2016 the depreciation amount was 500 and in 2017 it was 450. So let us add it back. 37,500 for 2014. For 2015 it will be 50,000 as it is. Here we are adding it back, so it will become 60,500. Let me just calculate it. Let's not leave it to chance. Okay, so the first adjustment is done. We have converted the capital expenditure into revenue expenditure correctly, because the expense was of nature of revenue expenditure, and since it was capitalized, there was depreciation charged, which was incorrect again. So we rectified that as well by adding back the depreciation amount to the profits. So we have done the rectification on first point. Let us do that for the second point as well. See, it says the closing stock for the year 2015. So that means 2014 will not be affected, 2016 will not be affected, and 17 will not be affected. Now the closing stock was overvalued by 4,000. That means the closing stock was shown 4,000 more than what it actually was, which has increased your profits by 4,000. Now we are supposed to rectify it. So we have to write overvaluation. Overvaluation of closing stock. Because of overvaluation, the profits was increased, and our job is to rectify it. To rectify it, we have to reduce that amount from that year's profit. This is 2015. So reduce 4,000. Write the amount. If you reduce it, it will become 46,000. The rest will remain the same. Correct arbitrate, yeah. Now closing stock of 2015 was affected. That means opening stock of 2016 was also affected. So the opening stock also was overvalued. Since the opening stock was overvalued, what that has done? That has reduced your profits by that much for that year. So in order to correct it, we will have to add it back. Overvaluation of opening stock for the year, what it will be for the year 2016, because it was closing stock of 2015 that was overvalued, which has in turn led to overvaluation of opening stock of 2016 by 4,000. I have already explained to you why it reduces the profits, or how it reduces the profits, and why we need to add it. Okay, I hope you guys have already understood this. Let's add it back. This will come as it is. So we are done with the second point as well. Second adjustment is also over. Overvaluation of closing stock and overvaluation of opening stock is over. So we'll move on to the last point. To cover the management expenses, an annual charge of rupees 7,500 should be made for the purpose of valuation of goodwill. These are also called as calculation of future maintainable profits. They are saying in the future, in order to maintain profits, we have to incur management expense of 7,500. So what they say is, in future we are going to incur this expense. So let us see what will our profits be if we show this expense in the previous years also. So we have to show this expense in those P&L account. For the sake of valuation of goodwill, we are going to mention management expenses and subtract it from all the years. 7,500 on all 4 years. Okay. For people who do not understand the logic of this, you understand that whenever there is a term that is given as management expenses, you have to reduce it from all the years profits. Minus this. So we got 30,000 and we got 38,500, then we got 57,000 and we got 68,000 as our adjusted profits for respective years. So since we have found out the adjusted profits, let us look at calculating the total product. The total product is nothing but adjusted profits into respective weights. Weights we have already given. I had explained to you how we find out weights if they are not given in the problem. We are just going to start with one weight and we are going to ascend it by one every year. Alright, so let us take the adjusted profits from the above table. 30,000 for the year 2014, 38,500 for 2015, 57,000 for the year 2016 and 68,000 for the year 2017. If you see, they are in the ascending order. Now let us find out the product. So the total product comes down to 5,50,000 and the total of weight is 10. I had already entered the formula here. The formula is nothing but a sum of all this. Add all these, you will get 5,50,000. Now let us find out weighted average adjusted profit. The formula is total product divided by total of weights. Total product is 5,50,000 divided by total of weights, which is 10. So the weighted average adjusted profit is 55,000, guys. Now using this weighted average adjusted profit, we are going to find out the value of goodwill. So we'll again read the second sentence of the illustration. For this purpose, the goodwill was agreed to be valued at 3 years purchase of the weighted average profits of the past 4 years. We have already found out the weighted average adjusted profits of the past 4 years, which has come down to 55,000, and goodwill is nothing but 3 years purchase of that weighted average adjusted profit. So we are going to take the weighted average adjusted profit, which is 55,000, into number of years purchased, which is 3 years. Sorry about that, guys. So the value of goodwill is 1,65,000, guys. I hope you guys have understood this. With this small illustration, we come to the end of simple average and weighted average adjusted profits based problems. The next sub topic that we have for you is valuation of goodwill on the basis of capitalization of average profits method. This is another subtopic in valuation of goodwill. Capitalization of average profits is nothing but we will find out the average profits and then try to identify how much capital would be needed to earn that profit. This is how I would like to explain to you capitalization. Okay. Under this method, the future maintainable profits of the business are capitalized by applying the normal rate of return. This is exactly what I told you guys. We are going to find out the future maintainable profits, or also called as adjusted profits, and then we are going to capitalize it by looking at the normal rate of return that prevails in the industry. Now there are two approaches under this particular method to ascertain the value of goodwill. First is the net assets approach, and then there is actual capital employed approach, which is also known as the liability approach. Now the net assets approach is pretty simple. The formula for goodwill under this approach is capitalized value of business minus net tangible assets. You will have to memorize this formula, guys. Goodwill is equals to capitalized value of business minus net tangible assets. In order to find out the value of goodwill, there are 3 steps, guys. Let me make it very simple for you. If you memorize this formula, it's done. There's nothing more to remember under this method. See, first we are supposed to find out the capitalized value of business. This is step 1. The step 2 is calculation of net tangible assets, and the step 3 is calculation of goodwill. So the formula for capitalized value of business is future maintainable profits into 100 divided by normal rate of return. Okay. Future maintainable profits, also known as average adjusted profits, into 100 divided by normal rate of return. Then the step 2 is calculation of net tangible assets. The formula for net tangible assets is total tangible assets minus outside liabilities. This you have already studied many times before. I hope you guys have studied it many times before. The step 3 is calculation of goodwill, and the formula for goodwill I have already told you guys what it is. The next approach that we have is liability approach. The formula to find out value of goodwill under this approach is goodwill is equals to normal capital employed minus actual capital employed. See, normal capital employed is the same as your capitalized value of business. See, this formula doesn't change. Future maintainable profits into 100 divided by NRR. Future maintainable profits into 100 divided by NRR. So normal capital employed and capitalized value of business have similar formulas, so their values are one and the same. Even this has 3 steps. Similar to that, first you'll have to find out normal capital employed, then you'll have to find out actual capital employed, and then we'll find out the value of goodwill. So step number 2 is actual capital employed. The formula for that is taking all the capital taking all the shareholders funds, whatever funds that are existed for the shareholders, we are going to take that minus goodwill at cost. See, under this method you are going to take all those aspects that you did not include in net assets approach. In net assets approach you took all the assets and you subtracted the liabilities, so you left out goodwill as well as you left out the shareholders fund. So under liability approach you took those two. You took the shareholders fund, which is capital, reserves and surplus, and you subtracted goodwill from that. So you considered all those aspects that are not considered under the net assets approach, and using those two values we are going to find out the value of goodwill. We are going to solve practical problems on this topic in the next video, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.